Hello, I'm lesbian fiction author Kiki Archer, and this is my new novel, The Way You Smile, and it is out now. I have dedicated it to, for all of the mothers surviving, I feel you. Not literally, but I feel you. And not just mothers, all of you women out there who are head down, living your life, sometimes possibly feeling a little bit lost or like you've forgotten who you are. It can often happen. Camilla Moore is the heroine of the story. She's a stay-at-home mum, and this is about her finding herself again. So maybe read it and vicariously get the excitement through her. That's my suggestion. I thought I would read the first chapter just to whet your appetites. Chapter 1, The Way You Smile. Sitting in the slow-draining shower tray, Camilla crossed her legs beneath herself. She'd angled the shower head towards the wall opposite and was watching the steaming water run down the tiles. Admittedly, there wasn't anything fancy about her surroundings. A magnolia bathroom suite bought in a Wickes sale over 10 years ago. A shower tray with so many layers of sealant you could mistake it for a low-level shelf. And a shower head that, although clean, the threat of Legionnaire's disease should never be dismissed, was peeling badly. Still, this was her space, where she could just be. Tilting her head backwards, Camilla looked up. How chrome could peel was one of the subjects she'd addressed in a previous seated session, along with the debate about whether glass cleaning should be categorised as an actual art, because no matter which product you used and no matter how smooth your swipes, your shower door would immediately betray your glass cleaning incompetence the second the steam started to rise. Even the mini window wiper tool she bought from the JML stand in Boots couldn't stop the evidence from appearing. Maybe it was all about the buff. She'd asked the men at the local hand car wash where they purchased their buffing cloths. Their buffing skills were always magnificent. Camilla stopped herself. Her life was more than this now, or it was about to be. Yes, she'd probably still cross her legs underneath herself after her early morning seated leg shave, but now she'd have better things to debate. Work things, career things, posh friend things. Not that Julie Biggs from next door, with her fountain of knowledge about Tesco vouchers, should be sniffed at. In fact, Julie was a great source of information. She always knew when Next were doing their VIP sale, and she'd alert you when the newspapers contained those half-price theme park entry vouchers. She could also tell you instantly what time and what channel the good programmes were on. But most importantly, Julie knew, week on week, which supermarket was selling the cheapest Prosecco, Asda, at £4.99 a bottle this week. Camilla focused on the silver razor. She should have used a new head. Today was a day for new heads. Yes, they were incredibly expensive, but if she couldn't treat herself today, when could she? Running her fingers down her legs, she nodded. Smooth enough. Maybe she'd change the head tomorrow to celebrate her successful return to the world of work. What was the title they'd given her? A mum returner? Camilla laughed. She'd barely been there in the first place, unless she counted part-time jobs and that successful babysitting service she'd run in her teens. Plus she was returning somewhere she'd never actually been. Art and design was her major at university. Not that she'd finished the course. Yet here she was, 15 years later, returning to the world of market research, or market intelligence as it was now called. Picking up the razor, she shrugged. How hard could it be? Once upon a time, back in the days when she'd stayed standing in the shower while shaving her legs, she'd used one of those pink disposable razors designed specifically for women. She thought for a second. When had that actually happened? That first time she'd decided to angle the shower head away and slide onto her bottom in the tray, so she could shave her legs without having hair flopping in her face and blood rushing to her head. Was it before the kids or after? No, she'd definitely become the non-standing to shave woman post-kids, just as she downgraded her hairdresser post-kids and started to shop in the clothes section of Sainsbury's post-kids. Either way, one glorious day she'd spotted Mick's silver razor on the side of the sink through the badly cleaned shower door, grabbed it, lathered up and shaved. And in that moment she'd shaved all her worries away. Smoothly, sleekly, enjoyably. No longer was she worrying about rust poisoning from that sharp piece of metal at the end of the pink plastic handle. Now she had blades that were contoured, a head that bounced with some sort of suspension system, and a handle with a soft rubber grip leading to silky legs that didn't immediately feel stubbly the second you stepped out the shower and got goosebumps. Turning the silver razor over in her hand, Camilla nodded. Market research was all about substance over style. That's what she said in the interview, and maybe that's what got her the job. Because while this three-bladed, double-suspensioned, masculine-looking silver razor might not aesthetically appeal to the traditional woman, by God could it shave your legs. And not once would it give you one of those horrific cuts near your ankle like the pink plastic razor would, shearing off a section of your skin to the extent you believed you developed haemophilia because of the amount of blood that wouldn't stop flowing. Putting the razor back down, Camilla stood up. Focus. She needed to focus. She couldn't be this woman anymore. This woman who spent 15 minutes in the shower tray on a daily basis debating life's big questions, no matter how attached she was to her single place of solace. Waving down at the slow-draining water, she spoke seriously. It's been a wonderful 15 years. She smiled and raised her voice, moving her gaze forward and trying her best to ignore the cleaning smears on the glass door. But tomorrow, I'm a woman who stands in the shower to shave. What, Mum? Came the shout. Turning off the water and stepping into the small ensuite, Camilla reached for the pile of towels, grabbing the big one at the bottom and wrapping it around her body. It was one of 7 different sizes that Julie had recommended on offer at the range. Pardon? She shouted, now taking the 3rd towel from the top and attempting to fasten it around her head. She cursed. It was too small. She tried the next towel down, lifting it in front of herself to assess its potential, before wasting time on another unsuccessful hair flick and towel swish manoeuvre. Again, too small. Working through the pile, she sighed. Great. There was pretty much 1 bath towel, 1 hand towel, and 5 flannels of varying sizes. This was something else she'd have to stop, buying into all of Julie Biggs's bargains. She needed to learn that they weren't, and they never would be, either essential purchases or bargains. From now on, she was going to be the woman who bought towels from Debenhams, or maybe even John Lewis. Mum! What? Stop hollering at me! I'm in the bathroom! Camilla reached for her trusty Kellogg's Special K towel, quickly wrapping it around her head. Straighteners! I need them for school! Wait! Struggling to keep the big towel in place around her body due to its blanket size and her slight build, Camilla opened the door from the ensuite, just in time to see her teenage son reaching for her hair straighteners. No! You can't take them! PE today. Michael, I need them! They were the only implement capable of transforming her shoulder-length brown hair into any sort of style. Gym before school. Going early. Michael, I really do need them today. PE. And? Meant to rain. Use Ethan's. His are always sticky with gel. Good job you love me, hey Mum. The tall boy grinned as he twisted the power cord around the appliance and backed away across his mother's small bedroom. He paused in the doorway. Made you breakfast. Good luck, breakfast. Camilla smiled, everything instantly forgotten. Oh, bless you, my darling. You'll be great. Struggling to keep the towel in place as she moved towards him, Camilla lifted a hand to her son's broad shoulders. Have you got time to eat with me? I'll come down now. Already had my protein shake. Let me see you off then. Camilla followed her son as he strode across the short landing and down the stairs. She smiled. The school portrait pictures were rattling on the wall beside her. 10 years of toothy grins, moving more and more year on year as her sons got bigger and their stair stomps got heavier. I'll be back in time to make tea as usual, she said. We're fine, Mum. If you're making me breakfast, you obviously are. Is your bag in the kitchen? Camilla tiptoed across the hall's short section of laminate flooring, wondering why no one had told her a decade ago, when the plastic fake wood effect panels became such a craze, that laminate flooring was actually a nightmare to clean. Mopping led to buckling, polishing led to broken necks, and no implement sold on the JML stand-in boots ever did the job it was meant to do. So down she'd go, on her knees, gently spraying and buffing. But still her hot shower footprints showed up, hence why she always danced as quickly as she could into the kitchen. Or wore slippers. Have you got my slippers? Are they in your room? She turned to her son, who'd followed her through. You've destroyed so many pairs, crushing down the backs with those huge pontoons of yours. Pontoons? I couldn't call them barges. What about battleships? Shall we call them battleships? Or how about U-boats? She watched as her eldest child tucked the straighteners into his school bag before she noticed the bowl, spoon and cereal box on the counter. The boy grinned. What? That's what you have for breakfast? Camilla smiled. It's perfect, my darling. Reaching out, she squeezed his arm, wondering at what point the hair ruffle had changed to the bicep squeeze, and when exactly her fingers had become unable to reach halfway around the huge muscle. Thought you had someone in the shower with you this morning. Heard you talking. Camilla almost spat out her laughter. What? We don't mind. He's doing it. Why can't you? Because I have morals. Camilla quickly corrected herself. Sorry, that was wrong. It's not. He's a tosser. Camilla let the words hang in the air before assessing her son's face in the silence. You're a good man, Michael. Stop going on about me being only 15 then. I stand by yesterday's discussion. In my day, 15-year-olds didn't have full beards. Apart from Jennifer Langley, thyroid issues. You're not funny, Mum. Says you, Mr. Bigfoot. Camilla reached out and hugged the muscles once more. You're a good man, Michael. The shout from the landing was loud. Is Cassie Stevens good man too? The tall boy slung his bag onto his shoulder and hollered. Do one, Ethan. The shouting continued. Isn't that what you've been trying to do? Boys! Camilla turned to the hall and angled her voice up the stairway. Ethan, I need to borrow your straighteners. Broken. Got a curling wand if that helps. So that is the end of the first chapter. If you want to find out if Camilla's life gets more exciting than her seated shower tray sessions, which it does, then go and buy it from wherever you buy your books, Amazon, iBooks, you can order the paperback, next day delivery, and yeah, keep me in the loop. Let me know what you think. Have a bit of excitement in your life through reading this. The Way You Smile by Kiki Archer. Speak to you soon. Bye.